morning, everybody. How are we doing? Good. So before we get started, we're going to stand up and dance our sillies out. Can you guys stand up, please?
We're gonna shake, shake, shake our sillies out. Shake, shake, shake our sillies out. Shake, shake, shake our sillies out. Wiggle our rivals away. We're gonna clap, clap, clap our crazy out. Clap, clap, clap our crazy out. Clap, clap, clap our crazy out. Wiggle our rivals away. We're gonna jump, jump, jump our jingles out. Jump, jump, jump our jingles out. Jump, jump, jump our jingles out. Wiggle our waggles away. We're gonna jog, jog, jog our jitters out. Jog, jog, jog our jitters out. Jog, jog, jog our jitters out. Wiggle our waggles away. We're gonna stretch, stretch, stretch our stretchies out. Stretch, stretch, stretch our stretchies out. Stretch, stretch, stretch our stretchies out. Wiggle our waggles away. We're gonna yawn, yawn, yawn our yawnies out. Yawn, yawn our yawnies out. Yawn, yawn, yawn our yawnies out. Wiggle our waggles away.
All right, you guys can go ahead and find your seats. All right, good morning, guys. How are you doing? Good. All right, so before we get started on our lesson this morning, can we go over some of our classroom rules, please? Go ahead and raise your hands whenever you think of one. Brooklyn? No hitting or punching, so we need to keep our hands and feet to ourselves. Who else has a classroom rule? Dominic? Be quiet, so we're not going to interrupt while I'm teaching. We're not going to talk over our friends. Do we have any other classroom rules? What about, do we raise our hands or do we shout out? We raise our hands. Good job. So, what do you guys know about the moon? Brooklyn? So there's different phases. It doesn't always look the same. What else do you know? Dominic, do you know anything about the moon? All right, so where's the moon at? Stop. It's in the sky, right? It's in space. All right, and does the moon size get bigger or smaller at all? Do you notice any changes in that? Have you ever seen any changes in the size of the moon? Yeah, we've noticed shape differences in the size of the moon. That's right. All right, so today we are going to go over the different shapes of the moon and the cycle that it goes through throughout a month. So first we are going to talk about the new moon. So the new moon is the first stage, okay? So it's going to be when the sun and the moon are completely aligned and the moon is invisible from Earth, so you cannot see any lightness. So there's this example, so that's supposed to be all dark, which will show the moon. And then there's also this example, which shows that there is no light showing of the moon, right? So it's completely black. Next, we have the waxing crescent, which is the second phase in the moon. Waxing means that the light part of the sun or the moon is growing. So this edge right here is going to continue getting bigger as the phases go on. In the waxing crescent, you're going to be beginning to see a small sliver of the moon. The next stage is going to be the first quarter. The first quarter is the third phase in the moon. The first quarter, you are going to see about half of the moon and the other half is going to be dark. It's called the first quarter because the moon has traveled about a quarter of the way around the Earth, so it shows about half. The next phase is going to be the waxing gibbous, which is going to be over half of the moon is going to be visible, as you see in that picture, and then also in this one right here. Do you guys remember what I said waxing meant? Yeah, so the light part of the moon is growing when waxing is in front. So waxing crescent means that it's starting to grow light. Waxing gibbous means that there's even more. So next, after the waxing gibbous, is going to be the full moon. This is the fifth stage, and that is when the moon is completely lit up and you see all of the moon. After that, you go to the waning gibbous. Okay, that's the sixth stage. It's less than full, but it's more than halfway illuminated. and it's a waning gibbous. So waning is the opposite of waxing. So that means that the light part is beginning to shrink and get smaller. So, like in the waxing, you see how it's gradually getting bigger from this phase to this phase and then this one? Well, this one, it's gradually getting smaller. So the light, it's completely lit up here, and now the darkness is starting to come back. So after the waning gibbous, we have the third quarter. So that means that the opposite half is going to be completely full. So the first quarter, when you look at it, it's on the right side that you can see all of the light. However, on the third quarter or the last quarter, you can only see the left side is light, right? So it just kind of flips. After the third quarter, you have the waning crescent, and that is going to be the last stage, so the 8th stage. And you are going to see a small sliver of light on the opposite side of the waxing crescent. So just like the waning gibbous and the waxing gibbous, they're just opposite. Yeah, so do you guys have any questions? No? So who can tell me what waxing is? Brooklyn? Yeah, so with the part of the moon of the light that's growing bigger. And what is waning? Brooklyn? Yeah, so when the light part of the moon is getting smaller. So, good job. Can you guys stand up and move over here to the Oreos, but please don't touch them yet. I'm gonna go over what we're doing first, okay? All right, so today we are going to be creating our own moon face out of our Oreos. I've already broke apart your guys' Oreos, so hopefully the cream stays as perfect as possible. But what we're going to do today is we're going to create a waxing crescent moon. So when we're looking at the waxing crescent moon, I'm going to be creating the waxing crescent. You guys are going to be creating something different. So when you're looking at the waxing crescent of the moon, what side of the moon is lit up? Is it the right side or the left side? Or we can look at this one. When we're looking at the waxing crescent, is the left side of the moon lit up or is the right side? The right side. So when you're making your Oreo, you're going to want to make sure that you are carving out the shape of the moon in the correct side. So that right there would be my waxing crescent moon, and this would be all the dark side of the moon, since that's where the cream is missing from. On your guys' Oreo, I would like for you to create a waning gibbous moon, and you guys may use this as a reference. So make sure that you can see what side your light is on, if it's on the left side or the right side. Alright, good job guys. So you both made the correct moon. You both made the waning gibbous. You can tell you both did it right by comparing it to the moon up here. You can see that over half of it is still illuminated, right? And you can see the darkness on this side. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to clean up this. Do you guys want to eat these? Okay, so we're going to clean up this. And then we are going to do another activity. So this is going to be putting the moons in order from the first stage to the last stage. And there are 8 different stages, don't forget. All right, you guys may get started and go ahead and take out your moons. Going to apply what we learned and place the moons in the correct order. when you're all done, raise your hand and I'll come check. Alright, so it looks like you have a couple mixed up. So let's try to look at these two. Alright, good job. It looks like you got it. Good job. Go ahead and clean up your vases and put them back. Alright, good job, Brooklyn. You've got them. Go ahead and put your vases away and come sit down at the chairs, please. Alright, so today we learned about the 8 different phases of the moon. We saw the way it progressed throughout the month, and we saw the different shapes that it makes throughout the month as well. We practiced by making our own moons out of the Oreos, and then we also placed the moons into the order that they go in. So our objective today was seeing the different shapes that the moon made throughout the course of a month. Do you guys think you understand that? Do you think that we met the objective today? Yes, good job. So how can you guys tell the difference between a waxing crescent moon and a waning crescent moon? Let's look at these two. Or I'm sorry, waxing crescent and waning crescent. These two down here. Can you guys tell the difference between these two? Can you tell me the difference, Brooklyn?
The wind crescent is on the left side and the waxing crescent is on the
You're right. So the waxing crescent moon has all of the light over here on the right side, and the waning crescent has it over on the right. Good job, Brooklyn. So, Dominic, can you tell me what waning means? Keep in mind what the changes between the full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter. What is happening? Is the light getting bigger or is the light getting smaller? Smaller. So what do you think waning means? It's not growing, it's shrinking. So waning is another term for the light shrinking. All right, so how many phases are there? 8. Good job. There are 8 phases. All right, you guys did really good. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.